Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, Adam Blue here. Welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. In this episode, we're going to be tearing up the mobile suits from Witch for Mercury. Season 2 is around the corner. We've already got another aerial, probably a whole bunch of other new mobile suits. So let's get this Season 1 out of the way. All right, so first up, let's see what suit we're going to do. All right, so do I save this for last, or do we just go ahead and get it taken care of? Okay, the aerial. Gundam, it's the main Gundam. The main Gundam. And it looks cool. It has those colors, the white, red, yellow, blue. It's got a more slim look to it. I think that kind of started with the eggs. Yeah, I mean, I guess there were some other slimmer Gundams. Then we get to IBO. But yeah, this one's pretty slim. All right, so for this, I like the design. The pilot is cool. But so far, nothing to run home about. The rebuild is cooler. I'm gonna give this an A. Nothing wrong with it, but nothing mediocre about it. It is kind of elevated just a bit through its design. So yeah, let's give the aerial an A. A for aerial. All right, next up here, we're gonna get a bit fancy. We've got Ghoul's Dalanza. Okay, so there's a lot of interesting things going for this. One, Ghoul seems to be a very interesting character. We're seeing a lot of dynamics play out for him, both in terms of how the life he's kind of been forced to be into, and then the life that he is accepting. And then we kind of see the season end where it's like there's something he's trying to do. So yeah, he's taking initiative. But again, this suit gets taken out early, but it looks cool. I gotta say, it has a cool look. It's not like my favorite design. I'm gonna give this a B. I mean, it got taken out by the aerial, but that's probably because of the aerial, because it's a witch. But yeah, I think that works. All right, so the Gundam Ferract. Now, a little bit of cool things about this. It really seems to pull from the design elements we're seeing from the aerial. I find it to be very similar. It's just kind of an evil-looking version. It's got the dark colors. We see all that red going on. It's a cool looking evil suit, I gotta say, a bad guy evil suit. We're gonna go ahead and give this one an A, because it's not like crazy over the top, but when I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that is cool. All right, the Michaelis, interesting suit. The color scheme is kind of cool, but other than the aerial, this is a high grade that I built, and is very underwhelming. I don't even have it displayed anywhere. I have it sitting back in a bookshelf, not even standing. I don't know what it is about this suit. I just kind of don't care. I would even say not only is it middle of the road, it's a little under middle of the road. Because even when I got done building it, I'm like, this doesn't make me excited about a mech, or its weapons. It's just kind of whatever. So there we go. No hard feelings. Okay, now we've got Choo Choo's Demi Trainer. So I gotta say, I like the design element of the Demi Trainer in the first place. It has sort of that grunt, mass-produced look, and I think, again, and I'm not saying it's doing this purposefully, but it has Votom's look to it, and that dome-ish look, that's kind of similar with, again, Votom's are early Zeonic designs from UC, but with the more typical bipedal, and I guess, yeah, humanoid shape. It kind of still makes it stand out and look unique, but it's kind of what, compared to the Michaelis, the Demi Trainer does more to lend itself to being a mech and some neat mech design. I can see this anywhere else. This could be featured in a James Cameron film, for instance. I mean, it has that look. And it's Choo Choo's, so it's got that commander antenna or whatever, and then she has like a custom gun for it. I'm gonna go S for a lot of reasons, because again, it lends to that mechanized design I really like. It's grounded in its look. It is sort of unique for Gundam, again with that domed look, but having the rest of that humanoid shape along with it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give that thing an S. Curious what you guys think of this one. And is it because of Choo Choo, or is it because of the suit? All right, now we have the Dalanza. It's a Dalanza without the fancy feathers. It's probably just one step down from Ghoul. I'm not totally against these design type for these mobile suits like the Dalanzas, but they're good enough. I think they're better than some of what we've been seeing in modern Gundam. Again, a lot from these super modern Gundams, and it's something actually that I see in the Mechalus. Let me get that real quick. Michaelis? I know there's a way to pronounce it. Anyway, just looking at this again real quick is we see these little divots or little lines. Sometimes when I'm looking at designs, and especially 00 brings this to mind, is there's a lot of these design elements on a mobile suit that are not conducive to any grounded or based in reality sort of mechanized look. I mean, they're just random giant line holes that are in the suit. So this is something like when I see something like this, it makes it hard for me to take it seriously as a mech. And the Delanza, though, it keeps it at a slight minimum, so it's not too crazy, and it has enough going on with it that it almost looks slightly like something out of UC. Okay, the Zowort. This one's gonna get some high praise. This looks fantastic. This looks like a modern, I guess, like aircraft, jet fighter look to it. And I think it lends well to the type of mobile suit it's trying to be. Even the colors, because we have that, it's not a white, it's not a gray, a little dash of green. It kind of lends to that military look. The orange visor really helps. I gotta say, the Zowort looks great. This is good mobile suit design, especially mass-produced, something like this. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, what do you guys think of this one? I think with this, I'm going to give it an A, because when it comes to just straight up design, almost along with the Demi Trainer, like this has awesome mech looking look to it, where it looks like a mech. Okay, I'm just repeating myself. All right, and another one I don't pronounce often, Hindre. Okay, this looks all right. I mean, it's kind of like the Michaelis, but it has Gaian vibes to it. Makuve's mobile suit that he used in 0079. I don't know if they were going for that on purpose, but I am getting that look. Even the Michaelis has it. Every time I say the name of that mobile suit, I feel like it's wrong, even if it was right. So this one, I think because of the less random line holes it has in it, I'm going to give this a C. Really middle of the road, nothing stands out in terms of it in a good or bad way. All right, next up is just the Demi Trainer. Normal Demi Trainer. You know what? I'm looking at it, it's like I almost like this design better than Choo Choo's. But it's, I'm going to give it an S as well. I know that's random, but again, I like this design of a mobile suit. It still has a grounded look, but it's a little different in some aspects. There's been some design elements between 00, IBO, coming into Witch from Mercury, again, with kind of the slenderness kind of going everywhere. This kind of keeps things grounded, and it looks like a cool mech. I do like the colors because there's the light gray, and then the sort of like the Zowort, it has like that gray green, that's just a little bit of that green to kind of give it that military color, but having the red on the cockpit hatch is awesome. And then the green, not even a mono eye, even though the Demi Trainer seemed to have a mono eye looking thing at Choo Choo's. This one has more of that GM look. So yeah, I'm seeing a cool mix of designs. It's not overly designed. It has all the details. Yeah, like looking at the shoulder. Actually, let me make this a little bigger here for a second. Like the shoulder, the little divot in there, and there's not other random line holes placed everywhere to kind of throw off the look. Definitely a great looking suit. I was going to go A, but I'm just going to go S. It's same suit as Choo Choo's, but they're both different in their own way. All right, this Demi Garrison. Okay, even cooler. I feel like this is like the ultimate use of the Demi Trainer. It's not even called Demi Trainer, Demi Garrison. This is where they're utilizing the suit for some mass production for a specific role, and this is for that Garrison group, I guess, like their own little battalion of mobile suits that I guess do some enforcing whenever that is required. Some cool things about this is it adds sort of sometimes what we would see on like a GM or a Gundam, where it has that top of the head where a sensor would be, but there's no sensor, but it still has that top that is a cool look. It has the antenna. It even has the yellow in the visor instead, and then it has another little yellow part above the hatch of the cockpit, and then an emblem for the Garrison. So really, there's a lot here going for this. When the Demi trainer was awesome in the first place, now we're seeing kind of the rollout mass production version for this specific enforcing. You know what? That's going to get an S too. We've got the triplets up here in S because they are all awesome. If I haven't got the gunplay yet, which I haven't, I need to ASAP. All right, the Daribald, whatever it may be, this is actually a pretty cool looking suit. You know, it takes from, in a way, the Delanza look. It's a little more extravagant with its headpiece, but it's got the red, so red kind of lends to like bad guy or evil. So that's kind of cool. And in the colors, the visor looks cool with the yellow and the green, and then little permit score stuff, you know, throughout with the green. You know, cool looking suit. I gotta say, it doesn't stand out as amazing, but it's still cool. I'm gonna put it at B, yeah, because it doesn't stand out, but it's a little. Okay, it does stand out, but I would say it's not, all things considered, it's not as amazing, I think, as the other ones, but it's not just a standard suit, right? It's not just mid. All right, the Delanza Soul. This looks really cool because it looks like they took that kind of extravagance that came out of the Delanzas we've seen so far and almost grounds it, especially with the colors being, you know, the darker blue, the darker grays, a little bit of white, and the purple. It's not too much. It's maybe just enough to show off the advancements that this could potentially have. Yeah, I like the look of it in general. It kind of has like that cool little Echoes style from UC little thing on its head, or am I thinking? Yeah, Echoes. I used to say Echoes, but this has more of a grounded look than the Delanza, and I think I like that. So for that, it's gonna get an A because that's more along the lines of the things I like out of a mech. All right, next up is we have this Zowort Heavy. I mean, I love the Zowort already because it has that grounded military badass mech look. This takes even further. It has a lot more of that green. It has a really cool look on the visor, and it doesn't have the antenna, which I like the antenna, but I also like it when it's absent because it helps kind of, again, give it kind of that grounded military look. And being a heavy, it's got some badass heavy weapons. You know, for all of that, I'm going to give this an S. This is definitely a badass type of suit that I'd get a high grade of. All right, Lauda's Delanza. Lauda? Does it get Lauda in here? That was a bad joke. But Lauda's Delanza, let's say it's, you know, it's like the other Delanzas, but it has more of that extravagance to it because it is a personal suit and not a mass production or anything. And the colors look cool, but you know what? It's not crying out at me like the other Delanzas were. You know, with the Daribald look, I love that kind of rounded thing that meets in the back. With ghouls, you get the little feather at the top. And yeah, this is just like the other one, just the antenna just splits into two. It's just okay. It exists. Okay, we got this Beggar Pente. Again, with these names, close enough. You know what? This actually looks more like that mobile suit I said I built. And when I thought I was saying I built what's in D, maybe it was this. Either way, I think that just kind of explains how kind of like, I don't know, not interesting these designs are. Nothing stands out. Colors are kind of unique, but other than that, it's like, and I guess story-wise, it hasn't really done anything for me either. It's not bad, but it's not middle of the road. It's whatever. All right, here is a Gundam Lafrith. And it might not even be Lafrith. It's one of those words that has 3 pronunciations we've seen done officially. Okay, a couple things. It is a Gundam. That kind of helps because that head design is really cool. It's a different take where, like, instead of the red chin, it's a red nose. Okay, now I can't unsee that. Don't know what I think about that. And it's not too overly designed, but it's still missing things on it that lend to a grounded military. I mean, we're some vents. Do they have any vents? Maybe around the Maybe those are little vents down there, but that almost just looks like deep panel lines. So I think this is a hard one. I'm almost just going to say that it's just okay. It's a Gundam, but it's just, yeah, it's nothing offensive, but nothing that stands out. All right, so then we've got the Gundam Lafrith Thorn. This looks a little cooler. You can kind of see some divots on the shoulder armor. You even have those vents that are protruding. Even in the face, there's the vents, and with the red here. So I'm looking at this, and I'm getting more Zeta Gundam vibes of a Gundam. And it looks pretty cool. I gotta say, I would give this a B. It doesn't stand out a lot, but it stands out just enough where, oh, that's a cool take on a Gundam. But I gotta say, between the two Lafriths, like, the designs are just okay. I'm just hoping or expecting in season 2 we're gonna get some cooler takes on the Gundam design, because as much as cool as the aerial is, it's not straight up Gundam like in a way the Lafriths look. All right, we've got a final one here that that might not count, but it's here, and I'm gonna use it anyway. And this is the rebuild, the Gundam rebuild of the aerial. It looks cool. Actually, it looks cooler than the normal aerial. It has a lot going on with the shoulders, the binders, stuff I really like, where it helps with like that space flight. It's grounded in the propulsion systems you would think would be necessary for a mobile suit like this to be flying around in space, maybe in atmosphere somewhat. And it just seems to take that IBO styled aerial design and then pumps it up into Stardust Memory with some GPO vibes. And I think it's because of that it really makes this an exciting suit for us to be seeing in this second season coming up. And you know what, without context though, it's really hard for me to give it an S. The context, I think, is what helps bring something to an S for me. So far, the look and the context of just knowing this is the main Gundam, to me, that's A, because of just how cool it is and everything. But, you know, maybe when we watch the show, we start seeing it, the second season, start seeing it in some more action. Maybe, just maybe, that would give it an S. So we'll see when I do my season 2 tier list. All right, so that is it. Tier list for the season 1 mobile suits of Witch from Mercury. A little bit of my personal preference, a little bit of context of the show, and we kind of get this neat little look here. From this, I don't think there was anything that was super crazy. I'm curious what you guys think. Is it similar to my Char's counterattack, or there was a lot of disagreement? But let me know what you think, because I'll probably cover it in the podcast or next episode of the show, what people tend to like from that series. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk later.